record button. Perfect. So I'm Sharlene for one person that doesn't know me really, and we've set up this online event about cellular health and essential fatty acids, and I'm kind of hosting. And Hanna, my beautiful Hanna Linné, did I actually say that right? Because I've only ever call you Hanna. So
yeah, that's right. Okay. Hanna Linné.
So Hanna is from Sweden, and she's going to be doing the talking and the presentation today. And just a quick introduction of Hanna, because she's a fascinating woman, and we met about eight months ago, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Hanna has been someone who's been working with her body her whole life. So she's actually a world champion artistic aerial hoop.
Mm-hmm.
Hoop. There you are.
Aerial hoop, yeah.
Yes. And she has the world record. So we're amongst important people. Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow. And she is really passionate about helping other athletes with pharmaceutical or pharmaconutrition, and spreading her knowledge about functional medicine as well, or functional nutrition, I should say. She's specialized in women's hormones, which is good for some of us. And she teaches hormone yoga, pregnancy yoga, and a yoga called I Am. And she creates different yoga classes based on people's different health concerns. She lives between Sweden and Spain, and she has a daughter, a young daughter, but because of her working on Mamma Mia in Sweden, she goes there every week. So thank you so much. That's where she is today. Hanna, thank you for doing this today. And we're going to be hearing about the importance of cellular health, and in particular, the importance of essential fatty acids on the health of our cells, especially as we get older, because there's a lot of research that shows that essential fatty acids are crucial for our health, for keeping our health, our longevity, but also in supporting the body for things like when you're going through menopause, ADHD, diabetes, a whole bunch of different conditions, and also brain function stuff. I'm going to be getting my dad on this because he's just been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, so wanting to get him on this to try and improve his brain function as well. So Hanna, over to you. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you everyone for being here. I'll hand it over. Go.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sharlene, for that amazing introduction. Really, thank you. So yes, I think you covered everything, what I'm coming from and what I'm really passionate in doing right now. This is a big passion of me to spread the knowledge about health and the root cause behind many lifestyle diseases that we can actually avoid. And my health journey, actually myself, started maybe 15 years ago, 20 years must be now. I was performing on a cruise ship. We had our first act together, me and my boyfriend, and I had everything in front of me. I was so happy. I had so many plans, and suddenly everything changed, and I got a thyroid disease, and they sent me home in just 2 days. And I remember it so strong. Like, I wanted so much in life when I was healthy, but when I was sick, I only wanted one thing, and it was to get my health back again. And that printed very deep in me. And I started to ask questions. Why did this happen? I had no idea. This was probably something that had been going on for a long time in my body before I got diagnosed with this thyroid disease. And now I also know it was an underlying inflammation that had been going on for a while. And this is a lot of the reason why I'm working with what I'm doing today. And also another time in my life, I got eczema all over my body for 6 months. And I went to the doctor, and he only sent me home with this cortisone cream, hydrocortisone. And I say, I don't want to put it on my body. My body's screaming. I want to know why I'm having these symptoms. And he couldn't help me. So I started to look in different natural health care, and I went to this Chinese medicine doctor, and I came home with a whole bag of supplements. It was not really cheap, but I was so desperate. And I came home, and I think I took it for 1 or 2 days. And then I was looking at this big bag, and I was like, how do I know that this is exactly what my body needs? I got a weird feeling, because even if it's supplements, they have fillers here and there, and how do I know what my body needs? And this is the other big reason to why I'm working what I'm doing today, where we actually go from guest-based health to test-based health and go into the root cause of all this lifestyle disease. So I was thinking, is it okay if I share screen with you? I think it's maybe easier to absorb the information. So let's see here. No, there, share screen.
You got it?
Yes. Let me know if you can see it.
Yes, good.
Is it? Yeah. Yes. So we all want to feel good and stay fit and be healthy. And as I say, this was something that hit me very strong back in the days. And also when I've been performing, I felt that the nutrition had a big part of my life. The results of my performance was very different from period to period, depending on how I took care of my body. At the same time, I think also you can relate to the question about the health, that we want to feel good. But at the same time, all the health-related problems are increasing. You probably know the big pandemic that going on is the type 2 diabetic. Over 10% of the human population have diabetic. So it's increasing and increasing all the time. Also high blood pressure. They call it the silent killer. People go around with high blood pressure without even knowing that they have it. Then we have IBS problem. We have arthritis, many mental health disease, people feeling depressed, anxiety, also Alzheimer's, dementia. Then we have cardiovascular disease and asthma, allergy. We have so many life disease. I think even cancer, they say 90% of all the cancer we can actually avoid with the way of how we're living. So it's really time to ask why. So we're going to look into this a little bit here. You probably know Hippocrates, over 2,000 years ago, he said, let the food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. And here you can see all the herbs with the different colors and how people used to eat back in the day. That is all those nutrition have an effect on our body. And so back in the day, we used to eat food from the nature, full of vitamins, minerals, phyto and macronutrients, beta-glucans, fiber, especially those digestive fibers that is like a prebiotic for the gut that feed the good gut bacteria in the tummy. Also healthy fat that have a good balance of omega-3 and omega-6. Today, we eat food that is low in key nutrients. It's high in sugar. It's full of empty calories, low in fibers, and have an imbalance between the essential fatty acids, omega-6 and omega-3, which can make us, make us sick in the long term, actually. So I don't know, do you know anything about omega-3 and omega-6? Do you know what it is? Any one of you? I can explain what it is. It's essential fatty acids, they called, and they are essential for our body. They are important. We can't live without them. And the body doesn't create them ourselves, so we need to get them from the food we eat. You can say that omega-3 and omega-6 is kind of the same, but still they're opposites. So, for example, if I cut myself, or if I get a virus infection or a bacteria infection, omega-6 is there and create an inflammatory process to heal it. You can see maybe you get fever, you can get a little bit red in the throat, or when you cut yourself, it gets a little bit red, it can get a little bit inflammation, you can feel it, it's burning. And then omega-3 come and calm the inflammation. So we're not going to have an inflammation there for the rest of our life. So that's why our DNA are created to have a balance between these fatty acids. our DNA are created to be one-to-one. When we get an inflammation, we're going to close the inflammation. It's like a little fire and a firefighter. It's the gas and the brake. And the science been study about this. We can go up to 3-to-1 before it's getting harmful for the body. But in
sorry, Hanna, is that 3 of the omega-6?
Yes, 3 times omega-6 than to omega-3. Yeah. Right. Because the omega-6 is also very important. Without that, we will die. So we need to have omega-6. It's easy to think omega-6 is the big, like, we should not have it at all, but it's very important also for us. So we can have three fires, 3 omega-6 and 1 firefighter, and we can still close the fire. But then in 1960, the women that was home and cooking and taking care of the family, they started to go out and work in the society. And that made the food industry, okay, we need to help to create this easy food like meatballs and sausage and everything. So it's easy to make the home, like to get food easy. And then this omega-3 level started to have more imbalance. So you can see today we have 15 times omega-6 to omega-3. So imagine 16 fires and just 1 firefighter. After a while, that firefighter becoming very, very tired to closing all those fires. And today you can also see that the kids have 21-to-1. And we're going to go a little bit later on also to talk about that. But kids easily get this junk food more often. Also in school and things like that, they have this junk food. And actually, I was checking, this is for Europe, this 15-to-1. I was actually checking, you can go into different countries, and Spain is actually 20-to-1. And I thought everyone is saying, Hanna, you probably eat so healthy now when you move to Spain. But I thought it was super hard to find, it's good food, but it's also so much processed food. I find this omega-6 oils in tomato sauce. I find it in bread, in cereals, in all kinds of food. I find it in Spain. It's super hard to eat good, I think, in Spain. And that's because omega-6 is a cheap oil, and it's also a very sustainable oil. It doesn't oxidate so quick. And omega-3 oil is very fragile. It oxidates very quick. So it's not good for the food industry to have omega-3 in the store, because then they need to throw it in 24 hours. So that's why they put this omega-6 oil, because it makes the food last longer in the grocery store, and it's a very cheap oil. So, and this is a lot of the reason why we have this unbalance. And also back in the day, we used to eat a lot of fish from the ocean that eat the algae. So we get all this omega-3 from the fish, and the cows eat the grass. But today we feed the cows and the fishes with omega-6 pellets. So the meat's gonna last longer in the grocery store, and it's cheaper also. So that's why we go around with all this inflammation in the body. And as I say, unfortunately, the kids is a lot worse. Nowadays, many kids get diagnosed with ADHD, autism, and things like that. And it has a lot to do with this inflammation that's going on in the brain. They have hard time to focus. And then many kids, when we get them back in balance, that they change so much, they come down, and it's totally different kids. It has a lot to do with this inflammation they have in the brain, and lack of those fatty acids, DHA and APA. So, and we can also see here, what more does it do to the body? It actually affects every cell in the body. It reduces the brain function, the hair quality decrease, it reduces the heart function, the skin elasticity, and it affects all the organs and the function of the organs and all the joints. And it actually affects every cell in the body. Here we can see, there you go. Here you can see a cell. As you know, we are all built up of billions of cells in the body, and all the organs, we have skin cell, all the organs, and we are built up of cells. And all the cells have an oily membrane that cover the cell, that protect the cell. And if we have unbalance with this fatty acid, if we have too little omega-3, the cell membrane becomes too hard. So it actually doesn't matter if we eat the best nutrition, buy the most expensive supplements. If it can't go into the cell can't take it up and take it out to the whole body. And it's the same with the toxic waste that create inside the cell. They need to detox from the cell. But if the cell membrane is too hard, it can't go out. We need to have flexible cells that breathe good, so nutrition can come in and the toxic waste can go out. But today we have super hard cell membranes, and that also is a big cause of many diseases. We can't take up the important nutrition. We need all those vitamins and minerals to work and function properly. So here you can see, sorry, it's a little bit my computer. Are you where you want to be, or are you in the danger zone? I think this picture is symbolized me a lot when I was working on the cruise ship. I was here to the left, I thought, but inside my body, it was a lot of inflammation going on without me knowing it. So this is the interesting thing, what we actually do. We test the health and see how do we feel on the inside. And how we do that, we have different kinds of tests. I'm going to focus on the fatty acid test today. We have long-term.
Hanna, before you say that, one thing that I want to say is that there are products that Hanna's going to talk about that are particularly to address the issue of the imbalance and improving ourselves. So that's when she's saying this. So Zinzino is the company. And so she's going to explain about that, just so that you know that that's where, why she's talking about this. So they do now talking about tests that Zinzino offers to check to see what that is that's underneath the ocean.
Yes, how we feel on the inside. And this is, we can say, so key to the health. There are other things we can go into also about health, but this is really a good key to the base of the house. So this is the fatty acid tests that we can take. It's a dry blood sugar test that everyone can do on their own in their home. And the dry blood sugar test, we see on a longer term, we can look a few months back to see it's not just how it is today at this moment, how I was eating this morning or so. So this one can see a more bigger picture of how the health is actually looking. And this test we can send to laboratories in Oslo. They call it VITAS. That's the biggest laboratory in the world that for these dry blood tests. And they have all the big universities in the world. And they are very leading with this dry blood test. And they are totally independent. They're not connected to any other company. And this is the results where we can see now we have actually done 1 million test results with this balance test. And we can see that here it's say 95%. And I know that also, unfortunately, have been increasing to 97, 98%. People are unbalanced, have this unbalance between omega-3 and omega-6. And you can see here, Africa and US, they are even worse. They are 99% of the whole population are unbalanced. So it's a little bit sad, but the good thing is we can actually, that we know about it and we can actually do something about it. So this little test measure 11 different fatty acids. We can see how hard the cell membrane are. We can see our omega-3 status, how much omega-3 we have in the body. For example, if we're under 4%, we have the same health risk as a big time smoker. And that's nothing people talk about. but it is that big chance to die before as a big time smoker, for example. And then we can see the mental health. We can see our protection value, how we protect ourselves for different diseases, and yeah. And yeah, so we get our own results in this little app, and we go through the test results with you. And the magic thing is that we can actually bring you back into balance in 120 days. And what happens when we get into balance, we will get the normal brain function, and we will, like, it will affect the hair quality, the heart function, the skin elasticity, and all the inner organs and joints and muscles. And here is some scientists that we collaborate with. I really think you should check out Dr. Paul Clayton. Dr. Clayton is a scientist in pharmaconutrition. He's been studying that for, I think, 30 years, 30, 40 years. And he's been writing many books. And now he decided to actually collaborate with Zinzino to bring out products. He worked with the UK government, he worked with many different places, but he also decided to collaborate with Zinzino. And Ola Eide, he's actually the brain behind the balance oil that I'm going to talk about now. I can scroll down here. This is the balance oil that actually, that put our body back in balance in 120 days. And I think that's really amazing to actually have a product that we can actually test before and test after, and we can actually see that it's getting the results. And this is what I felt when I had those eczema all over my body. I didn't know what was working, but this we can actually see that we get people back in balance. And what happens when we get people back in balance? We get cells that are working properly again, that can take up all the nutrition and detox. We get down with the inflammation that is the root cause of many lifestyle diseases. So actually, we didn't talk so much about that, but inflammation is the root cause of so many lifestyle diseases. So if you get inflammation in a joint, it becomes arthritis after a long time. If you get it in the gut, it can become IBS. If you get it in the bloodstream, it becomes cardiovascular disease. If you get it in the brain, it can become Alzheimer's, dementia, and also, like I say, kids can get those diagnoses. And if you have it in the lungs, it can become asthma, and allergy if you inflame it in the skin. So it depends, or in the gut, it can also show in the skin. So it depends where the inflammation goes, but it's those hidden inflammation that stay in the body for a long time that create most of the lifestyle diseases that we actually can prevent. If we calm the inflammation that this balance do, it calms the inflammation, it switch off the inflammation. And there's a lot of anti-inflammatory food out there that is, I also really recommend, that is really good, but they are anti-inflammatory food, but the omega, they switch on and off. It's the key to switch on and off. That's why it's so important we have those fatty acids in the body. And what is so special with this balance oil? I've been actually measuring many people that take omega-3 supplements. And I also ate omega-3 when I took my first balance test, and I was very like, but I've been eating omega-3 for, I think I've been eating like for 10 years or something every day. And I got very shocked and actually a little bit angry when I saw that I was 3 times as much omega-6 than I should have. I think I was like 9 to 1. So that was like throwing my money in the water. And that is because omega-3 oils, they're so unstable, so they actually start to oxidate. So it can actually become more harmful for the body to eat omega-3. If you look many studies out there, you can see that omega-3, EPA, and DHA are so important, and it's so beneficial for our health. But there are some studies that show that omega-3 is not good, even damaging for the body, and it's because they're checking those omega-3 supplements that actually start to oxidize. It doesn't reach out on the cellular level. and to eat rotten fish, it's not healthy. So what they've been doing, when the omega-3 supplement market do the omega-3, they take it out from the fish and it starts to oxidize when they clean it from the heavy metals and so on. So they put vitamin E to the fish oil to make it stable. And yes, it is stable in the bottle, but as soon as it comes into the body, it starts to oxidate. So it doesn't reach the cells. And some fish oil, maybe you smell they are already bad. You can smell them, that it smells fish. And fish oil should never smell fish. So what Zinzino and Omega3 have been doing, they've been copying the components of a fish. Omega-3 doesn't exist in nature without polyphenols. So they've been taking polyphenols from pre-harvested olives and combine it with omega-3 oil. And that olive oil is so potent, so it actually protect the omega-3 from oxidate. And that's why it lasts all the way out on cellular level. I think they did a test and it was, for over 30 hours, and it was still, then they cut the test because it was still working good. So that's the difference between a normal omega-3 and this balance oil is that they've been copying the components of a fish. And actually here you can see the different krill oil, for example, it's 5 hours before it starts to oxidate. And here balance oil over 35 hours and it's still active. So, and this we can see with our test, because the blood doesn't lie, we can see how the values are in the blood if it reach out on the cellular level. So here is the balance oil, it's polyphenols, and we have the omega fatty acids, also vitamin D that you can find in fish. And all these ingredients are 100% natural. And what we also do, we dose it by age and weight. So it's not like everyone over 6 years take 2 tablets. Everyone, we all are individual. We're not the same, any one of us. So this one, we dose it depending on who we are. And here are some different balance oil products. We don't need to go into that now, but I really want to mention a vegan oil product that we're very proud of. I think this is the only vegan oil I've seen on the market that actually working. I've been measuring many vegans, and unfortunately vegan are even more unbalanced. It's very hard to get through food, those fatty acids. You can eat, what do you call it, flaxseed and flaxseed oil, but it's only, and that calls, now we go into a little bit deeper, it calls ALA, the fatty acid, but only a few % of those can convert to DHA and EPA, that are the essential one that we actually need for the brain and for the immune system and the muscles and everything. So you can't really get imbalance to eating flaxseed oil, unfortunately. And after we had the balance oil, they were continue researching for 4 extra years when they had the balance formula to actually come out with a vegan formula that actually worked with the blood test. So this is an amazing oil that I'm very happy to spread to the vegan community, because unfortunately vegans eat a lot of soya products, soya sausage and soya products to replace meat, and that is very high in omega-6 and create a lot of inflammation. Then vegans are very often health-minded, and and I really like vegan diets, but it's very important for them to be aware about the fatty acid to not miss out on them. So, and here I can just show you a little bit about the quality. We have many nurses and doctors that collaborating with our company. And for them, this GMP certified is a very important stamp. And then we also have Trusted by the Sea that I think is a very important, do you call it stamp? I don't know. Yeah.
Sorry, do you call it what?
Do you call it stamp? We call it stamp in Sweden.
Yeah, stamp or certification. I think.
Certificate. Thank you, certificate. Yeah, so here you can see some different certificates that we have on our product. And here are, where you can see that it's actually in all the ages in life that is essential and very important to actually supplement with omega-3. It starts actually when you are in the belly. It's really important for the development of the eyes, of the brain. They have done many studies about if the mom, when she's pregnant, are low in this fatty acid, because when she's pregnant, she releases the brain to the baby. The baby always take first what she needs. And it's very essential for the development and to prevent for asthma and allergy. And they're also seeing many studies about ADHD and those diagnoses, if they get it early on in life or not. Then it's essential for the growing of kids, for all the functions in the body, and all the way until you're 100 years, because we're going to be 100 years, all of us, I guess, when we take care of the health and actually go to the root cause and not develop all those lifestyle diseases. But especially when you are in the older age, it's very important for the brain function and for the joints and the immune system. Protect yourself. Have a good protection. And when you work with natural supplements, I don't know how it is so much actually in Spain, but in Sweden we can't talk almost about anything. We can't have any health claims, but this is actually 18 health claims that we are allowed to talk about that are approved by EFSA, and that's the European Safety and Food Association. So we can talk about the beneficial for normal brain function and normal heart function and normal immune function. And yeah, you can see here on the list yourself, it's for the vision, for the teeth, for the development of the fetus, for your bone, to fight oxidative stress, for the blood pressure, for cell division, for the triglycerine levels.
Triglyceride.
Okay, thank you.
Triglyceride.
Yeah. Triglyceride. Yeah, and you can see the list here yourself, cholesterol, and I have had amazing, it's so, I can say it's so easy to see this on black and white, but when you have so much experience that I had with my customers, it's like, this is the reason why I'm doing it. And when I see people quitting with high blood pressure medication and recovering from, I'm not going to go in deep, but it's what it actually does in the real life that is amazing. When we get cells that working and calm the inflammation, what the body can do actually, because the body heals itself. It's not the balance oil or anything that heals the body. The body heals itself when we give the body a good base to stand on. When we give what the body needs to heal, it can heal itself. So 95% of those taking the balance supplements are back in balance after 120 days. So then we do a second test, and 120 days, what do we have that? It's time it takes for the red blood cells in the body to renew. People can feel things before 120 days, but we don't recommend to take a test before 120 days, because then we know the red blood cells been renewing in the body. And then some people maybe take a little bit longer, 5%. Some people have maybe gone with something for many, many years, been fighting something. They can be a little bit slower to get back in balance. But I still think this is pretty good results. So reaching a balance between omega-3 and omega-6 is the first step to feel good and stay fit and be healthy. And I'm not going to talk much more about other products because this is the most important that we always start with. But I'm just going to mention a little bit, about 2 other products that we have. The first step is always to make sure the cells are working. That I've been talking about, make sure the cells are working and to calm inflammation. As number 2, we have prebiotic fiber, and that working on the gut. The gut has to do a lot with the immune system. 80% of the immune system is in the gut. Also, a lot of hormones are created in the gut, like serotonin and melatonin, all those feeling good hormones. And it's actually more signals going from the gut to the brain than it is from the brain to the gut. So it's very interesting. And also gut problems is also connected to autoimmune diseases, especially leaking gut. And what this blend do, it feed the good bacteria in the gut. So it have 8 different fibers that take care of the whole. Some of those prebiotic have only maybe 1 or 2, and that could more be like it stops the flow. It could actually cause almost more harm. But this one feed the bacteria in the whole system. So we have a whole system that works. So this one is also one of a kind. I've never seen something similar on the market. And also when we have a good gut, we can take up nutrition good. So, and also it eliminates toxins. When we have a good gut, it's stable the blood values, it affects the joints and balance cholesterol and so on. So it has a lot to do with the gut. So that's always the number 2. And the third step is to put vitamins and minerals. The biggest cause of death actually today is starvation. It's that we don't get enough food, what the body actually needs. The soils today are not what they used to be back in the day. We also filter a lot of the water. We don't get the minerals that we used to get back in the day. So they've been putting together a really amazing supplement with vitamins and minerals that are really rich in phytonutrients, Q10, beta-glucans, polyphenols, micronutrition, everything to support in the best way. So this is the 3 steps we always work with. First, make sure the cells are working. That's the base of the house. Then we work with the gut and then with vitamins and minerals. But it's not a point to put vitamins and minerals if we don't have working cells and if we don't have a working gut. So this is the 3 products that we call the health protocol that you can see here: balance, restore, and support. And actually, I'm going to mention one more thing. We have a 4th one that called Viva that is also very good for the mental health, for people that are depressed, anxiety, sleeping problems, and also for kids that maybe is with ADHD, and those kids, they have easy to focus and feel good. So this is the health protocol premium. So I think I'm going to pause and stop sharing screen and see if you have any questions. I don't know if I was talking too quick with my Swinglish.
We're fine. Does
anyone have any questions?
Any questions? Amanda, you need to unmute yourself, darling.
Sorry, I wasn't talking. I will talk now. Yeah, thank you, Hanna. Thank you. It's always good to be reminded of things, even when we believe we know them, right? So it's always good to have another reminder. I'm really interested to hear. It's good to hear about the vegan option because, yeah, I think that's really good. And so I guess I'm really interested.
Are you vegan, Amanda?
No, I don't call myself vegan anymore. I have a plant-based diet, but I was vegan for many years, and yeah, but I have sort of I suppose broken away from that a little bit. Yeah, and I started eating honey last year, and I started like occasionally having cheese when I was in the north of Spain. So I don't call myself anything, but 95% of my diet is always plant-based, and so it's always interesting for me to know about the omega-3s, omega-6s. Love to know more about the price and what you charge and what the tests cost and the vegan products. So I don't know if you're sharing that today or whether you're just forwarding that information on to us, but I'd be really interested in that.
Yeah, I can. If people want to see, I can share it now, or should we take it after Sharlene? What do you think?
Well, Lily and Jazz, are you interested in the prices and things? Is that of interest to you?
Yes, I would like to know, yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that.
Yes.
Is that good for you, Hanna?
Yeah.
For that?
I can actually, I think I downloaded them here. Yes, share screen again. So I can show you all the pictures here. So this is one test, what it costs to buy.
So Hannah, we can just see your inbox at the moment with all of the, you might need to open it first and then, yeah.
If I do like,
just feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
sorry?
It's a joke. I was just saying,
Okay.
feel free to talk
Actually,
amongst
I don't
yourselves
need
while we wait.
to show you. Let's see. Here's the two test and the balance kit. I can show that because actually to buy one test, it's super expensive. It's not a point to do that.
So Hannah, just can I say from what I understand too is that basically there's a package that gets sold that has the pre-test and the post-test plus the 120 days of product. Is that right, Hannah?
Yeah, we have different kits. You can buy a separate test. You can buy a small package that we're putting together that is a lot cheaper. Because the test then it's straight to Vitas, but if we're putting actually almost for the same price as one test, you get 2 tests and 2 months of the oil for the same price. And if you take a test and if you are in balance, you get all the money back because the company don't want to sell it to someone that actually don't need it. So
if you do the test and you don't need it, then they give you the money back for the test or for the oils?
Yeah, you get the money back for everything. Okay. Yeah. So for example, here we have the
now we can still just see your inbox. So it's got 1 test, 2 tests plus balance oil kit, 2 tests, balance oil kit. It's just got the list of documents. You'll need to open the document first, I think, and then share. Because we can't see the actual document just yet.
That's so weird. Sorry for that.
You might want to, if you open it and then when, let's see again. That's better. Okay, now we can see. Yes, that's it.
I don't know what you're seeing really though.
So now we can see the balance oil kit.
Okay, so this is the balance oil kit. So actually to buy one test only, it's like 170 euros. So it's not a big point. But to buy 2 tests and 2 months of the oil, it's 2 big bottles and 2 small bottles. It's 188 euros. And then it's a subscription in for 6 months, and that will become 38 euro a month. And this is because it's not a point to have 2 tests and take it like with 1 month between. We need to have those 120 days to actually get in balance. So that's why we have this subscription, and the company have much more happier customer after we started with a subscription. But you can also buy a single oil if you want that also, but then it's more expensive. But it's not going to make a big difference. It's to go to the gym one day and think you're going to have a big muscle. It takes time to get in balance. So this is for the normal balance oil, and yeah, here you can see the 2 balance tests. You can see this is the vegan oil with 2 tests. Unfortunately, it's a little bit more pricey with the vegan oil, and that's because the way they produce the vegan oil right now. But this is going to be the future, and the price is going to go down with the balance oil. But I see much more expensive vegan oils that are not actually good at all. So I think it's good because we know it's working, but unfortunately it's a little bit more pricey. So this one costs 72 euros a month.
So just to clarify, Hannah, this has got 2 tests.
Yeah.
Plus the 2 bottles of oil.
Yeah.
For the 220 euro, and then it's monthly for 72 euro. After that.
Yeah. And this is if some people don't want to take the test, they are like, yeah, but I know like I would just want to have the product, because the tests are interesting. It's very interesting, especially to see the second test. But it's actually the oil that makes the difference in a body. So if people just want to go on the oil, they can start with 134 euros for 2 bottles, and then it's 72 euros a month. Yeah, and that's the fiber. Yeah, I think this was the product. Did you get the prices now? Of all the products? Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing really with. Yeah.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. And that's interesting they do it without the test, because I guess you're saying the chances of us being in balance is so unlikely anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we like that proof, don't we? We like the proof to see that it's proved otherwise.
Yeah. And what actually
like
is,
Hanna said earlier, going from guest-based health to test-based health.
yeah. And it's also different between intake and uptake, what the body actually takes up. And that's what we see in the blood. So, yeah, so this is really what we're working with. But what's interesting with the second test, it is for those 5% of people that actually don't get back in balance. Then we can start to look in a little bit the different fatty acids, and then we can get more help them in a better way to get a bigger pictures. If you don't take the second test, you don't know if you are in balance, if you are those 5% or not. But except for that, it's actually the balance oil that is the most important. But like you say, most of the people want to try with looks. But for me, I would say it's the balance oil that is the magic. Yeah. So yeah, for me also, and my family, it really have done. Oh, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, it's been making like wonderful. I'm really grateful for what it has done for me and my family. So I'm very passionate, and I'm very proud, and can really 100% stand behind this product. So yeah. And if you have any personal question, feel free to ask, or
We can also turn off the recording if that's better for you as well. And
of course, this is it's a very big picture, but then there are also many different tools what you can take into your body, like mindfulness training. I know Sharlene is very good with that. Also, yoga and meditation and exercise, that is also super important for the health. I think the health is it's many different pieces that actually need to be good together. But we know that all the lifestyle diseases are increasing, and it has a lot to do with the nutrition that we eat today, unfortunately. But yeah.
Great. If there's no more questions, what I can do is, if you would like me to, if anyone would like me to follow up, I can do that. If you're interested in the products or anything, we could follow up with you. And if not, just let me know, no problem at all. But sorry, Lily, what was that?
Sorry, I just wanted to ask, I heard that it also helps with anxiety. Is there direct connection with anxiety and panic attacks? Would that kind of thing product help with that?
I can't guarantee anything, but I know my mom, for example, she's been depressed since the day I was born, and she told me, Hanna, I don't know if I dare to tell you this, but I don't get my dips anymore. And for me, it was very super strong. She always felt she had the head under the surface, and now she was now I can, breathe again. So for me, that was very strong. And also my partner, he was in a very big depression for many years. And he knows that it's good to exercise and to do all those things, but he didn't have the energy. He didn't have the inspiration. So for him, the balance oil was easy enough to start with. And he's a totally different person that have energy to go and run and everything today. And it was because I think he started with this product that made him come back to life again. So, and I know that those fatty acids are essential for the brain and for the brain function and so on. So I would say yes, but it's not like a guarantee. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So both the balance oil and the synbiotic is very good for the mental health. Very, very good. But I know many people that have been coming up from chronic fatigue and depression and anxiety, but also this Viva. If you want, I can send you some. This balance oil take a little bit of time, but this Viva product can give a little bit faster results. If you want, I can send you some tablets and you can see if that could be something. Many people combine the Viva and the balance oil, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. You mean if I made the order with that order, or?
No, I can just send you some tablets and you can try those Viva tablets. Is it for you? Is it for somebody?
It's for somebody else I've just spoken to today, and I just felt I really want to help them. So,
If you can give the
sample, Hannah, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Sample,
like a free sample. I can if you give the address to Sharlene, I can help out with that.
Sure, I would really appreciate that. I will leave my address then.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Hey, Lily, what I'll do is I'll put my phone number in the chat. If you want to, you can contact. Do you have WhatsApp?
Yeah,
why don't you just put my phone number in the chat. You can send me a WhatsApp and we can communicate there if you like.
Sure, I'll do that. Yes, I'll send you a WhatsApp message.
Address and whatever, and I can pass that on to Hannah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. I have to go now, but I'd love to get the information that I can just share it, especially with my daughter, and have another little look myself now that I understand what it's about. Just read up. So I'd love you to forward that information to me.
Sure.
Of course. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thanks so much for coming, Amanda. Really appreciate it. And Lily and Jazz, thank you for being here. We went a little longer than we thought we would today, but it's appreciate you being here, and I'll be in touch.
Thank you. Lots of
love.
love.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really happy for you and all the great results you've got for you and your family. Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Okay. Bye. Thank you, Sharlene, for organising as well. Thank you.
Welcome.
Bye-bye.
Lily, Jazz, anything else from either of you before we finish up today?
I just wanted to say that somebody already told me about this maybe like a year ago about this kind of product, but I haven't really looked into it, and then that's why I was listening to this, but obviously I didn't know what this is going to be about, but it's really interesting. So if you can please send me all the information as well, and I will have a closer look. Shall I message you my email address?
Just send me that on the, if you can pop it in the chat if you want, but you can also just contact me on WhatsApp, whatever's easiest for you. And I'll send you the information that you can look at, and we'll get the sample to you as well.
And they were also raving about the whole product and their family, how it's all been cured, how they all have been cured and stuff. So obviously this information has come back to me. So
Come back to
I
you.
probably need to take a quick closer look to it.
Yeah. And it is weird. It sounds like first in the beginning, I was like, what kind of miracle product is this? This is not true. How can one product be for so many different things? I'm used to work with essential oils, and then you have one oil for different things. But now when I understand what it actually does to the body, it makes sense, But it sounds too good to be true. But when you understand it, it's it makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks for jumping on so last minute, Lily, as well.
Sorry?
Thanks for jumping on last minute like that too. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Joined us. And Jazz, thanks for sharing it with Lily so she could be here with us too. All right. Take care, and I'll speak to you all soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Should we stop the recording or?